let's do some skill review and some translations. The first thing that we're going to work on is order of operations. Let's do the first one together. In the parentheses, we have 12.6 plus 19.4. I went ahead, I highlighted that because that's the first thing. I went ahead and added them, and I came up with 32.0. So I know that the value of this is 32. Now I'm going to rewrite what I have, and it's a little bit simpler. 8 times 10 squared minus 32 plus 1 cubed. Next step is exponents. I've got 2. I'm going to go ahead and do them both at once. 8 times 100 minus 32 plus 1 cubed is, well, 1. Next step is multiplication. That's 800. Now I've got subtraction and addition both together. Since they are equal, we go left to right. The first one we come to is subtraction, so we'll start with 800 minus 32. I'm going to do that in my head. The answer is 768. Because 32 plus 68 is 100. All right, plus 1. Believe it or not, I'm going to do that one in my head too. Ooh. That makes 769. Number 11, I don't know why I felt the need to do this. No, that's not number 11. Huh. This is 11 times that. There is no, these aren't numbered, sorry. So it's 11 times, and then you've got parentheses. The first thing that you need to do in the parentheses is the exponent. When you write it next, you'll have, let me just do this one step. 7 times 9 divided by 9 plus 23. Before you can multiply, you need to clear out all the operations. You'll do, I know you're tempted to do 9 divided by 9 first because you can see that's 1. But remember, multiplication and division are equal. So you just go left to right. You have to do 7 times 9 first. Just remember that. So the next thing that you do is 7 times 9. And you'll keep the parentheses because you still have a division in it. Let's fly down to the bottom of the page. We'll do 11 and 12. 11 is 2 fractions, 2 negative fractions. I took the liberty of cross reducing. 4 reduces by 2 and 2 reduces by 2. So now I have 2 times 3 and 5 times 1. Since it's a negative times a negative, my product will be positive. 2 times 3 is 6. 5 times 1 is 5. That is an improper fraction, so I need to convert it to a mixed number. I'm going to come on down to here. It makes 1 and 1/5. And now number 12. You are multiplying negative 2 times 3.4. I wrote it out. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 3 is 6. Got 1 digit to the right. This is a negative times a positive, so my final answer is negative 6.8. Too bad you can't cross reduce on any of those two. I gave you the harder ones. I did the easy one. Finally. Now, we are going to work on writing expressions with variables. This is very, very, very important. Whenever when you translate a word problem into math, you always need to identify your variables. There's another page that I just taught today where we were converting word problems to equations, and it did not have you identify the variables, and I added that in because that is very, very important. Just about every math curriculum requires students to write that, and the few that don't are flawed because you need to know You need to be very clear, and you need to put forth that thought to make sure you know exactly what your variable represents. So we are going to, we're going to do numbers 1 and 2 together. I'm going to help you with 3, and then 4 you're completely on your own. These are expressions, so there's nothing to solve. These aren't equations. You don't have to do anything to find the answer. You're just making up some expressions. That's it. So this is actually pretty quick and pretty easy. And as you see up here, these are just a bunch of examples of expressions. They don't have an equal sign. We are going to have, you could actually solve those if you wanted, but because our expressions are going to have variables in them, they're not really solvable. If you have variables, you've got to have an equation. You've got to know what it equals. Otherwise, there's nothing you can solve. Here's an example. Robin has 10 chocolates and Martin has M chocolates. Write an expression of chocolates that Martin and Robin have together. So you identify Robin has 10, Martin has M. If you want to write an expression, how many they have together, well, you have 10 plus M. So if Martin has 8, then they have 18. If Martin has 2, then they have 12. If Martin has 80, then they have 90. He shouldn't be eating that much chocolate, by the way. I need to have a talk with Martin. Number 1, actually. That first one was the example. Bobby grows 20 carrots and Tommy grows K carrots. Write the expression of carrots that both Bobby and Tommy have. The first thing that we'll do is identify our variable and then the information we have, and then we'll write the expression. Bobby grows 20. So we know he's got 20 carrots. Tommy grows K carrots. So I've identified the information that I have. And as always, you've got to identify your variable. Always, always. You don't always have to do this. You always have to do this. Write an expression of carrots that both Bobby and Tommy have. So you're going to add them. It'll be 20 plus K. That's my answer. Number 2. Julie has 7 jelly beans. She gave Y jelly beans to Susie. Write the expressions of jelly beans that she has left. So she has 7, but she gave away Y. To find out how many she has left, we subtract Y. So she has 7, and we take away Y. That is your answer for number 2. Number 3, I helped you set it up, the first part, and then you'll have to do the expression too. So the first thing you need to do is find out the information that you have. Susie ate 2 pieces of cake in the morning and N pieces in the evening. Write the expression for the amount of cake she had today. So first, pieces eaten in the morning, boom. Then you identify pieces eaten in the PM, boom. We write an expression for the amount she had today. So then you take those 2 pieces of information and you do something with them. Do you subtract them, add them, multiply, divide them? That, which would get you the answer, if you knew what the real number was. Number 4. I'm not going to help you. You're on your own. So finish number 3, do number 4. And don't forget this page. This is a pretty easy day in this book. You deserve that now and then.